My Nintendo Switch decided to go almost just, like go to sleep. And what was the other one? Witch Doctor. I did play that a little bit, but I didn't go too far. I think I got all the way up until the Spider Queen area, I think. And then that was it. I think for the Demon Hunter, I think I got to where we saved Deckard, and that was it. Then I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't understand this at all, and I left. Barbarian haven't tried. I've heard good things about it. Monk I heard was really fast for experience, so I tried. That's when I tried that. And then Wizard, I had a friend who got me into playing Diablo 3 in general. Was playing it, and he said like it's a really cool class, but it's a little bit more of like a, not a tech, but more of like I don't want to say tech, but it's in that same thing. Like you have to know what kind of build you want before you dive into it, kind of thing. So if you want to go like I think he went with an ice mage thing, frost mage, I don't know, some kind of ice based mage thing, and then I ended up going with, I think it's elemental based, I think. I don't remember. I know I had one ring, I think that's like it boosts like every few seconds. It changes depending on which elemental damage it does, kind of thing, or it boosts. And then I just kind of got rid of that. But yeah, so I just ended up just using that throughout. I think for Monk and Wizard, I think I got up to like Act 3 or 4. I know it got pretty far before it reset my progress on those two characters. I think my Necromancer, I think it reset my Paragon level. And same thing with my Crusader or Paladin. I think it reset my uh, my um, my Paragon level. I think that was it. So yeah, so hopefully, if you've watched the Borderlands 3 game, the series, I'm hoping that the credits aren't as long as that. They were like 5-10 minutes, I think, of the credits. I was really angry because that was literally like a video on my channel length kind of thing, because it was really long, and I was like, seriously, like it went from, I think, half of one to the end, and then through the next episode it was like the beginning half of that video, and the rest of it was just me saying like, oh yeah, I like this DLC and all that stuff. So yeah, that's actually, I don't even know if Act 5 for this game is actually a DLC. I think it is, because I think I remember reading something about it where like somebody was like asking like, is it worth buying on the Nintendo Switch? And somebody's like, yeah, because you get the Act 5 DLC or something like that, or you get this and you get that, right? You get like the Reaper of Souls DLC and something else. I forget what it was. The only thing that I wish that this game had was cross compatibility with the other console devices. So like the PlayStation and the, I don't even know if it's for Xbox, but I want to say it is. I don't know. I have a friend that played it on the PlayStation. He sort of showed me how to play the game. I never got used to it, so, and it was only like 10-20 minutes kind of thing. So, and I'm not really used to the PlayStation controllers anymore. I got used to the Xbox controller, which is why I'm actually so used to the to the Nintendo Switch controller, because to me they're almost exactly identical. So I got used to this controller really quick. But for the Xbox controller, I got really used to it. Not at first. I actually was playing on the PlayStation 3 before I got my 360, so I ended up liking the 360 controller less than the PlayStation 3 controller. But there's actually a really good story that I will talk about while we're waiting for the credits to end as well. So back when I first got my Nintendo 360, my Xbox 360, I originally had a PlayStation 3 beforehand. So I got really used to that controller really quick. I got so used to it, in fact, that when I was playing on the 360 controller, I kept moving my left thumb to the D-pad, thinking that that is where the other stick is. So the next day, after I kept making this issue, and I went, you know what, I'm done with trying to, figure this out. I'm gonna go to GameStop, EB Games, however you want to call it. But it was actually GameStop. I'm gonna go to GameStop the next day and find out if I can get a PlayStation 3 controller that will actually work with the Xbox 360, just so though I don't have to worry about that. I go the next day. I asked the clerk, associate, however you want to call them, or however they want to be called. I asked one and I said, "Do you guys sell a PS3 controller that works for the 360? Because that would be kind of cool, or at least in the same kind of design as that." No, they don't. We don't sell that. What we do sell is a 360 controller, but for PlayStation 3. And I'm like, oh, but that's not really what I'm looking for. So, lo and behold, so I had to pretty much force myself into using a 360 controller because I can't get it, because I can't get a PlayStation 3 controller, which I was already used to. I've already had, I want to say a year and a half or a year about experience with that controller before I got my first 360. So I was already so used to that. So by the time I ended up getting, by the time I ended up getting used to the 360 controller, guess what happened? As soon as I went back on the PlayStation 3, again, I messed up the controls because I'm so used to a different controller design. So I got so used to the Xbox 360 controller that the PlayStation 3 it didn't feel normal to me anymore. Because the 360 controller, like this Nintendo Switch controller, is really thick. It's thick, it has a really, I don't want to say a weird design, but it's got but it's a pretty huge thing where you can fit like two hands on it and your hands aren't going to collide with each other. For the PlayStation 3, it's a little bit more closer kind of thing, so you can accidentally hit your fingers together. Like, I'm literally holding the controller right now and my two index fingers are barely even hitting. Well, mind you, this is a Nintendo Switch controller, but I think it's based on the same thing, give or take. I think it has the same idea in mind. But yeah, I probably do have a 360 controller somewhere in here. I just don't want to go looking for it. But, yes, that's a little story about me and the 360 and PlayStation 3. Man, that was so long ago. That was around when Skyrim first came out, too. I mean, I had the 360 before Skyrim, but, that was around the time when I got really angry. Because, I couldn't get used to the 360 controller. I mean, I got the 360 before that. I got it... I think 4? No, I got it the year before that. Yeah, so I got it in 2010, I think. Maybe early 2010, late 09, I think. I'm not quite sure. It was something like that. Anyway, so I ended up playing it on that. Yeah, so the first time I played Skyrim, I played it on the 360. I liked it. Then something interesting happened, but then again, then I ended up getting it for the PC, and I just ended up playing for the PC, and then I ended up changing my whole playing of the game. It was fun. But yeah, when I first played Skyrim on the Xbox 360, I was getting so fed up with the controls because I kept hitting the D-pad thinking that it's the other, the other stick. So I kept, so that's when I went to GameStop the next day and then asked him and told me no. I only have, how many saves on the 360? I think I have 4 archived. Because I didn't buy many 360 games. Because I'm more of a PC guy myself. But I do have some Xbox 360 games that I liked. I know I have 1, I think? Either I have 1 or I had 2, but I sold 1. but I think I had one that was definitely Xbox exclusive, or it was console exclusive, but I only had it for the Xbox. Give me a second. Let's see here. Xbox. Yeah, I have one that's an Xbox exclusive. I don't know. I might do a series on that. That might be the first Xbox one. If I'm ever able to actually record console games, I'm gonna tell you first. If I'm ever able to record PlayStation 3, I already have a game in mind. I loved this game when I got it. When I heard that it might not be getting a sequel, I was sad because I absolutely loved it. There was a lot of issues with the game, don't get me wrong, but I really loved the game. And I thought it had a really interesting thing, too. Mind you, nowadays I think it would be more mainstream, but I think back then they were experimenting and they might have. It seems like it's a game that was ahead of its time, kind of thing, and a lot of people are like, ew, this game looks kind of weird and it's got weird mechanics. Nowadays, you go like, oh man, that's a cool idea or something like that. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, like I already have a 360 game in mind, so or 360. I mean, PlayStation 3 game in mind. So if I'm ever able to record that, there's already going to be one game that's definitely guaranteed. I might have said the game before, but I'm not quite sure. So just in case I haven't, I'm not going to reveal it because it might not even happen. I don't even remember if I still have the PlayStation 3. Actually, it might be in the other room. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, but I mean, like, if I can actually end up getting that to work with my current, well, the current way that I'm actually recording this right now, I'm gonna try that. I just have to go get the games again. That's gonna be rough. I gotta go track down that game. It's gonna be kind of weird. And track down the sequel because it actually did get it, and I was actually very sad. They never got a chance to play it. I watched somebody play it, but the problem with that is that this guy played through the first game by doing the extra content. So he got like very high leveled equipment. The problem is you can't do that anymore because they got rid of that extra content because it's all internet based. Or it's all online based. And they got rid of the online servers. So it's like you can't do that anymore. So it's like, I wonder how that's going to work. I mean, I can try and see if there's a way you can do it offline, but I mean, if there's a way I can edit the save so I can do all that, then that'd be fine. But still, like, I don't really feel like doing that. I feel like it gets you out of the game kind of thing. But yeah. I think that's mostly everything that I wanted to say, I think, for all that. Oh no. This thing is really long. I think this started around 2:14 on my stopwatch. It's now 2:30 on it. And it's still going. Hopefully this is the last leg of it. I'm hoping this is the last thing for it. Jeez, man. Oh my god, acknowledgements? Seriously? Okay, let's see here. Is there any other things? Let's see here. Yeah, so for the channel, there are a few GameCube games that I want to do. I already have two in mind. I think I said this during one of the Pokemon sessions. Not sure which one, unfortunately, but I definitely know that it's for some of them I have asked. Or not have asked. I have already put in mind of what I'm going to do with it. Oh, it already revealed all the character things. I didn't really see it. But yeah, so like I already have like some games in mind for that. They're mostly Pokemon games, so there's nothing really too interesting about that. But yeah, like I already have some of them in mind. It is Crusader, okay, I kind of figured. Okay, so 7 characters. Okay, interesting. But yeah, so we're definitely going to be doing that. I'm trying to think of anything else off the top of my head. There's only going to be 2 GameCube games. I've only ever played these two once. That's kind of the reason why I only want to do two. Because all the other ones are going to be kind of difficult. Because of one key thing is that in order for me to actually record the GameCube games, I actually have to use an emulator. I do actually have a physical GameCube, which that isn't the problem. The problem is that I have no way of taking my original saves from my GameCube, which I've already spent so many hours of my life doing, and I don't want to reset that progress. And I have no way of actually taking them off. If I did, I would have already done it, and then I would try and find a way to record my GameCube on the through the same way I'm recording my Switch right now. So there's that. I'm trying to think of anything else as well. Actually, I think that's pretty much it. Because I definitely have those 2 Pokemon games. I still have them because I remember. Because when I first went through one of them, I'm trying to remember. When I went through one of them, I found out that I couldn't do anything with it because when I was a kid and I first played it, I didn't do a lot in the game to be able to allow myself to trade with my Game Boy games, because I actually have the link cable that can connect to